Hi there, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome back to TCM and our night of sci-fi classics from the 1950s. Earlier tonight, we presented two science fiction films featuring groundbreaking special effects for the time, When Worlds Collide from 1951 and Earth versus the Flying Saucers from 1956. Up next, something a little less polished. From Allied artists in 1958, it's the cult sci-fi favorite Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. The story begins when a spoiled heiress has a strange encounter with an alien, because you can't make a movie about a pedestrian encounter with an alien. Everybody knows that. Anyway, this alien is dressed as a medieval knight, but that's neither here nor there, nor really anywhere in between. She manages to escape, but when she meets the alien again, it leads to a terrifying transformation. The woman grows to be 50 feet tall. But she's not the attacking 50-foot woman of the title. Of course she is. There aren't two women in the movie who are 50-footers. Although, maybe for the sequel. Anyway, this 50-foot woman has some scores to settle. Now, significantly, everybody in the movie plays it straight, as if this is the best years of our lives, but Myrna Loy is 50 feet tall and ticked off. Now, by all standards of decency, of cinematic decency anyway, this is a bad movie. But it's also a pretty deliciously bad movie, the kind you love because it's also ridiculous. A quick glance at the credits, and you might think this is a Warner Brothers picture. It's not. It's a Woolner Brothers picture. The Woolners, Bernard, Lawrence, and David, started the company in 1955, mostly bankrolling B movies, the kind that would show up in drive-ins. The brothers own some drive-ins. Bernard Woolner is credited as the producer on Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. It's no surprise, then, that Attack of the 50-Foot Woman feels like a perfect drive-in movie. Nobody seemed to give much thought to the script or the special effects, and it was shot for under $100,000 in just 8 days. That intense level of craftsmanship and attention to detail shows up in virtually every frame. There are some wonderful moments, like when the alien giant woman reaches down, picks up a car in her hand, and then smashes that car into the ground, except the car we see destroyed is a completely different car than the one she picked up. You will also certainly enjoy the 50-foot woman's giant hand. Sometimes that's all we see of her, looking like a float in a junior high school homecoming parade. Throw in the over-the-top performances by the two lead actresses, and you've set a standard that other cheap, campy movies can only aspire to achieve. Here it is, from 1958, directed by Nathan Duran, credited here as Nathan Hertz. Here are Allison Hayes, William Hudson, and Yvette Vickers in Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Attack of the 50-Foot Woman was shot by cinematographer Jacques Marquette, who was also executive producer. In an interview years later, Marquette directed one of his biggest criticisms of the movie toward the director, Nathan Duran. It wasn't that Duran did a lousy job. Rather, according to Marquette, Duran was too artistic, too much of a perfectionist. Marquette was criticizing Duran for trying to make the movie good. In Duran's defense, he was an Academy Award-winning art director, winning for the 1941 Best Picture winner How Green Was My Valley, which he made with director John Ford. Notably, you didn't see the name Nathan Duran in the credits. He insisted on being credited under a different name, Nathan Hertz, for, I think, pretty obvious reasons. Our friend Christopher Guest directed a remake for HBO in 1993 starring Daryl Hannah, and Tim Burton is currently developing another remake with Margot Robbie reportedly in talks to star in and co-produce the film. Coming up, Noir Alley with Eddie Muller. He has a TCM premiere, a film noir starring Robert Young and Betsy Drake. From 1950, The Second Woman, which is what Eddie's wife prays for every night, is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, The Second Woman, then The Late Show, and later, It's a Wonderful World. TCM stays down to earth tonight.